Welcome to the show, guys. Happy Monday. We are back in the studio, back from vacation. It was an extended vacation, that's for sure. And I'm excited to dive into the latest news and notes, injuries for fantasy football, and of course, the NFL, and some sketchy things that have been going on. A lot of people are now convinced the NFL is rigged. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Everything here, studs and sucks, honoring the sucks of the week for NFL Week 13, NFL Week 13 highlights, recap, the whole thing. This is the only channel you'll need. So if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. It takes a second of your time to hit the like, smash that thumbs up. It takes a second of your time. I want to get this message out to the masses because I believe with certainty, this is my opinion, that the NFL is rigged. So I'm going to be doing more content on that. I know a lot of people love to gobble up that content. So if you love the truth to sports, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and drop a comment below. Let me know, do you believe the NFL is rigged? I mean, all I got to say, let's just get right into the latest news notes here. All I got to say is literally, guys, you had to have watched the Texans game. I mean, look at that last, was it good? That point after, was it good? It was out, but they counted it, right? The Fairbairn kick, Fairbairn or whatever the heck his name is, okay? So there's a lot of weird stuff going on. So I'm going to get you guys all up to date right here, right now. So let's start off with the latest news with guess who, guys? Breaking Brad. If you're new, here he is. He's on the show. Listen.
We now have breaking news.
There you go. All right. So we obviously know there's a lot of like manipulation in games going on, stuff like that. And I'm telling you, man, it's like I just feel that the NFL is getting really, really brazen with this stuff. I mean, just calls like if you look at the Packers game, right? Where they jumped offsides, right? They jumped offside, right? Before the play was snapped. It's like, why wasn't that called? Or like the Texans with the kick. There's so many things going on. Like it's hard to just focus in on one thing because there's so much going on, right? And another thing you want to notice as well, which I've noticed, is that there's no true top dog team this year. If you look at the records, right? Like even if you look at the Colts game, I got to go back to that. They were the favorite in this game. They should have won that game. I know divisional games sometimes get tighter and stuff like that. I get it. But if you look at that matchup, I mean, the Texans have not been a good team this year, right? We have Panthers winning games they shouldn't. Like, there's so many things that happen where the record is manipulated so that it's evil. You don't know who the top dog is. So if I wanted to go in right now and bet on a favorite to win the Super Bowl, let's say it's the Chiefs, like, no, it's not that obvious now. They're doing this. I believe they're doing this on purpose. This is my opinion. Now, I've done shows on the Fix and stuff like that, and it is listed as an entertainment company. So legally, I believe they're allowed to do this. Like I've done a show on this. I had the author of the book, The Fix is In, on the show, and we talked about this. I maybe have to bring him on again. So what I'm saying is that it's crazy what's going on. But I had to just bring that up. Let me know what you guys think. Do you believe that The Fix is in? Love to get you guys' opinion below. Okay. Other things in the news here. Amon-Ra St. Brown looking iffy for week 14. He's been dealing with the ankle. Apparently, he doesn't expect to have a clear idea on St. Brown's ankle availability for Thursday's matchup. So Amon-Ra St. Brown looking iffy for week 14. Let's keep going here with the news. We've got Terry McLaurin recorded 7 receptions on 14 targets for 98 yards and a touchdown. Sunday's 27-26 overtime loss to the Broncos. I'm telling you, that was a close one. I thought the Broncos should have beat them more convincingly, but that's not here nor there. Josh Allen has a tough performance in the win. He had an elbow issue here, but he completed 59 of 23 passes for 123 yards and 1 touchdown. And you look at those guys and you look at other teams, like there is like 9 or 10 receivers on these teams. Like if you look at the Broncos, I counted, there was like 10 receivers. We got Franklin, we've got Bryant, we've got Sutton, we've got Ingram, we've got Mims, we've got everybody but the wide receiver one catching the balls on these teams. I'm telling you now, I think Sutton had a touchdown. We're going to go over everything here. So I'm going to go over all the studs and sucks on every team, as you can see here. But what I'm saying is that like, there's no like just like one wide receiver on the team. There's like multiple wide receivers on all these teams, and there's no just one wide receiver one. It's been crazy. Speaking of target dilution, Justin Herbert and the Chargers as well. Broken bone left hand and will have surgery on the injury Monday. Today, Jim Harbaugh revealed In the win, 31-14 over the Raiders, and Raiders now out of playoff contention. Man, do they suck. Geno Smith has got to go. Like, that team needs a total revamp. It's crazy, but Herbert broke his bone in his left hand and will have surgery immediately. Okay, Jackson Smith and Jigba, victim to the game script is what I'm reading. He finished with 2 receptions on 4 targets for 23 yards in Sunday's 26-0 win over the Vikings. But fantasy managers suffered, man. Unfavorable game script is what they're saying. There was a rushing attack that took care of Minnesota, blah, blah, blah. Sam Darnold completed just 54% of his passes while failing to establish any rhythm with the game. But yeah, man, Jackson Smith, 2 receptions on 4 targets for 23 yards. Really just unacceptable for a guy who's been crushing it. And again, maybe he's that manipulation. Again, they're reading the Main Sheep News here. They're saying it falls to victim game script. I don't think, if that's the excuse you want to use, then I think it's a pretty pathetic excuse. This is your wide receiver 1. Just throw the ball to your number 1 receiver, the guy that's been doing well all season. Okay, Kamani Vidal, and now that he knows Hampton's coming back, right? Or Hampton's on the verge of here coming back and wants to take that running back 1 role. 25 carries for 126 yards and a touchdown. Vidal exploded for a 59-yard scamper to kick off the scoring in the second half. By far the longest run of the young man's career. So it resulted in a go-ahead touchdown in the game versus the Raiders. So again, Vidal just making the best out of his opportunity. Brock Bowers scored twice in the 31-14 loss. Brock Bowers, who's been an absolute bust this entire season, finally coming alive. Trey McBride does well. We'll talk about that. Devontae Adams, 2 touchdowns, scores. Puka Nacua, 6 grabs in the loss to Carolina. Chris Olave scores touchdown in week 14. Kyron Williams. Now, he came out of the game, came back, got a touchdown. I saw that. But, he's dealing with that ankle thing, so that's something to monitor. Maybe we're going to see some more Blake Corum, something to monitor there. But apparently it's unconcerning from what I'm hearing here. Quinshawn Judkins tops 100 scrimmage yards on Sunday. Good fantasy guy for next year, possibly. And Breece Hall gets a touchdown, I believe. We'll go over these stats as well. Oh, Bijan, nearly 200 yards in the loss to the Jets. That's crazy. The Jets had no business winning this game. Now, the Falcons aren't the greatest team, record-wise, but man, the Jets, that's another game that people say, and it was kind of like a little bit weird. So that's it for news and notes. Let's get right to the studs and sucks at each position. Thank you, Breaking Brad.
We now have breaking news.
So let's go through everything here. Again, if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys do smash that thumbs up. Drop a question. Takes a second at a time to hit that thumbs up. Let's go through the studs and sucks at each position so you guys are able to monitor this for next week and the championships, and even going into next year, because that's why we go year round here, because we got to monitor kind of what's going on this year so we can project what's going to happen next year. So let's start off with, let me just filter here by quarterbacks for week 13, because that's what I want to focus on, is go through each position and honor the studs and sucks at each position here. So let's start off here. We got Pat Mahomes having himself a good game, 29.4 fantasy points. Love Mariota. Again, this is excluding the Monday night game. This is Sunday. Bryce Young, Trevor Lawrence, Tyrod Taylor. Who would have thought, like, week 13, Tyrod Taylor's a top 10 quarterback. Jared Goff, Dak, Jacoby, and Burrow to round out the top 10. Guys that just underperformed. Josh Allen, 16.7 fantasy points. We're talking Josh Allen here, everybody. Bo Nix, 16.4. Jalen Hurts, Daniel Jones finishing 15th and 16th here. Baker Mayfield, Justin Herbert, again, he got his left hand injured, 12.8 fantasy points. Lamar Jackson, 6.5 fantasy points. So guys that, Tua, Sam Darnold, guys that should have been performing high on fantasy just did not. Guys like Mariota, Bryce Young, Tyrod Taylor, Jacoby Brissett, names that shouldn't even be mentioned when you're looking at top 10, did well in week 13. That's fantasy football. The suck of the week, I got to give it to Lamar Jackson, regardless of what happens. 6 points, unacceptable. All right, let's go to the running back position here. Again, let me know who screwed it for you guys on your team. Drop it below, make it interactive, hit the thumbs up. I want to get this message out there, okay? Bijan, 30.3 fantasy points, still lost, 142 yards and a touchdown. RJ Harvey finally getting going with Dobbins sideline. DeAndre Swift, Kamani Vidal, Chuba Hubbard finally getting going here. I mean, this is, again, Rico Dowdle's been the guy to take the reins, and then Chuba Hubbard comes out of nowhere and does something right. It is what it is. Devin Achane, Managai, Monangay, the way to pronounce it is Kyle Monangay, right? They're calling him Manungai. And I went on and did a post on this. Like, Joe, why are you talking about players' names? Like, who cares? Well, if you're mispronouncing it, then I have an issue with that. For example, Shimmery DK, right? D-I-K-E. If you look at the shoe Nike, it's Nike or Nike. So you just add a D, that gives you Dike, right? Or Dyke. So that's how you pronounce it. Shimmery Dyke, not Shimmery DK. Same thing here. Kyle Manungai. I don't see the word none. I don't see anyway, that's a whole other conversation. But the point I'm trying to make here is they got to start pronouncing it correctly, because this BS about like mispronunciation, I can't stand that stuff. It's just, you're basically avoiding calling a player the proper name because you're afraid of like how it sounds. Like that's the truth. Let's get down to the facts. The real reason the mispronunciation, Shimmery DK, should be Shimmery Dyke or Dikey, because they don't want to offend, or they made it say that's how it's spelt. That's how it's spelt. Nike's not going to go Nikkei. I've never seen, hey, I got a new pair of Nikkeis. No, there's no DK in D-I-K-E. Where do you get that? Okay. So Nike is not pronounced Nikkei. Does that make sense? All right, let's go. All right, so let's keep going here. I mean, Chase Brown, McCaffrey's finishing the top 10 here. Guys that crap that, Genty, 12.1 points. Kenneth Walker, 10.4. Josh Jacobs, 10.1 fantasy points. Really unacceptable. Woody Marks, I think he got banged up. I had to go back and check that. But 7.7 points. Rashad White, 5.9. Pollard, 5.3. Aaron Jones, I think he got hurt again, 4.5 points. Ja'Cory Carson-Gamera, just a big bust this year. Very unfortunate, 2 points. So a lot of big names, like just not performing. Rico Dowdle, 9.4 points. And he got the attempts, man. He had 18 attempts. Rico Dowdle just didn't get it done. Montgomery did end up taking a touchdown away from Jahmyr Gibbs. This is what I'm talking about. Like that should have been, like they're hoarding away volume from your precious RB1s, which just sucks, okay? So let's go. Where did actually Gibbs finish here? Jahmyr Gibbs finished 24th, 11.6 fantasy points. Montgomery finishing ahead of him, 12.8. Now, Gibbs had only 13 attempts, and 13 attempts, sorry, not 13 attempts. I apologize here. I'm looking at the week here. 8 attempts from Montgomery. Gibbs had 20 attempts. So just didn't get much done. 3.4 yards per carry. Jahmyr Gibbs, you are the suck of the week. I don't know what happened here. And letting Montgomery take away that touchdown is absolutely ridiculous here. Looking at wide receiver here, A.J. Brown, man. I mean, A.J. Brown. There you go. Continues to have himself multiple good weeks. You are the start of the week, A.J. Brown. You're doing it. I mean, you had a slow start to the season, inconsistent, but here you're back, okay? Rashee Rice, 29.4. Now, this is what I'm talking about, the game's being manipulated, okay? We are talking about the powers that be screwing fantasy teams, okay? Like absolutely messing up fantasy teams. I looked at Dontavian Wicks' numbers going into the season or going throughout the season, and he's been sucking every single week. It's been other guys. Watson, early in the year was Kraft and Musgrove, and there's other options, right? Jacobs having big weeks as a running back, but Dontavian Wicks has literally done nothing. Then all of a sudden, week 13 comes along, and they start feeding Wicks like he is the second coming of Jerry Rice. Like, I'm telling you, man, they are messing with you. Like, the Broncos had 10 different wide receivers. The Packers have a bunch of receivers. The Bills have a bunch of receivers, and the Raiders, like there's no wide receiver ones on the team, and they're doing it on purpose to mess with prop betting. I'm telling you guys. And that's why there's no clear-cut favorite NFL team that's going to win the Super Bowl. They want to keep you on your toes and uncertain. They don't want that guaranteed volume and production out of a workhorse wide receiver one or running back one or guaranteed team like I go in right now and bet the Chiefs win the whole thing. They don't want that. I'm telling you guys, the NFL, this is my opinion, is messing with the betting and these games. It's a fact, okay? I mean, we're seeing it. The proof is here, okay? So when you look at Dontavian Wicks here, having a good game, it's like, okay, well, yeah, that's not going to be sustainable. Williams, Caleb, CeeDee Lamb, Adonai Mitchell. I mean, Adonai, what? Okay, let me go look at what he's done here. I'm going to take a quick glance. Done nothing. Look at it, like 4 point. I don't know if you guys can see this on here. I'm going to pull it up. Like, he's done absolutely nothing here, okay? 4.1, 4.0, 12.6, like literally nothing. I mean, this entire season, and all of a sudden he has a 24-point game. Get out of here, Adonai Mitchell. Really? I didn't even know he played on the Jets. Like, that's how non-relevant he's been, okay? I knew he played on the Jets, but you guys get my point. Veely, McLaurin, and then we got, look at this, Veely, Saints, right? McLaurin, Adams, Collins. Some weird names here that they just shouldn't be here, from Wicks to Mitchell to Veely. And then you've got Watson still, putting up a decent performance here, 18.3 fantasy points. Now, the guys that suck the bed, Puka only 13 points. We got, let me just try to go here. Devontae Smith, 9.8. Emeka Egbuka, only 8.2. Just kind of give us some names here. DK Metcalf, 6.2. Cooper Kupp, 5.4. Just give you guys some names of people that should be performing but are not. DJ Moore, 4.7. Ricky Pearsall just not doing anything, 3.4. He's benchable at this point. And Justin Jefferson, 2.4 fantasy points, okay? Like, we are talking Justin Jefferson, 2.4 fantasy points. They are messing with your team. I'm telling you, man. I am telling you, this episode is really just showing you that these guys are messing with your team, okay? So that's what I got here. I mean, Jefferson's a suck of the week. Let's take a quick glance at tight end. We'll call it a day. Let me know what you guys think in the bottom, in the comments. Do you think the fix is in? Are they messing with us? Browers, McBride, Ertz, Kelsey, Pitts, Ingram, Strange, Komet, Likely, and Schultz do well. And then you got your Barner, 7.7 points, just garbage. Mason Taylor, 4.1. Gaddiston, who is heating up, 3.7 points. Not getting it done. So I would give it to like a Gaddiston, an Auden, 2.9 fantasy points. Darren Waller in his return, 6.7. I don't really expect much out of these guys. Tight end, as long as they get their 10 points, I'm happy. There's not too much fluctuation with these guys. But hopefully, like, this show is waking you up to say, hey, man, there's something going on here. And you got to take a look at this, man. You got to say, well, this guy had a down week this week. Maybe he'll do good this week. Or maybe this guy's done nothing all year, and maybe he's going to do something. So something fishy is going on. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Those are your studs and sucks, your news, your highlights, and the fixes. And I'm going to be doing more content around this, but let me know what you guys think. I'll cover more and more on this as fantasy football is dwindling down and the playoffs are coming up. We'll be watching very carefully on this channel. So subscribe, thumbs up, and have yourself a great Monday. We'll talk.